Hello everyone, I'm Dead Knight and this is In It to Win It. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get updates on this channel. Today we are going to be talking about the United in Stormwind set. The full card reveal is out and we're going to do my favorite card, my least favorite card, and the card I think is the most interesting for the Demon Hunter class. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I think that the best card for Demon Hunter that has been revealed with the full set out now is the legendary Jace Darkweaver. So this guy is a 7/5 for 8 that recasts all of the fell spells that you have played this game with targets chosen not randomly, but random against enemies when applicable. So this card is a great card. There's a tremendous ceiling on this card. Right now there's only a small pool of fell cards, but as new cards get released in standard, there will be more fell spells. So this is going to only get better. So the great ceiling. The stat line doesn't really matter that much. What you're really going for here is it's a finisher. So it's 8 mana and it's going to get you all the fell spells you've played. So the kind of fell spells you're looking at Chaos Strike, you're looking at Fury, whatever rank you played it. So you're looking at getting attack for your hero to finish off with a face-to-face. And on top of that, you're also going to get some board clearing fell spells if you played them in your deck, like I-Beam and the new I-Beam like card that they just printed in this set. Also, Immolation Aura and Chaos Nova are also going to be that, but those aren't seeing that much play. So, basically you play this guy, you I-Beam your opponent's minions, and then you put up a bunch of attack and draw cards and then smash their face for the win. At 8 mana, that's a pretty reasonable play, and it's a good alternative or addition to Illidari Inquisitor, so you can have tons of endgame pressure while still playing these early cards that deal quick damage like Fury and Chaos Strike. This also might allow us to see the return of Metamorphosis, which by itself is going to be dealing 8 damage with a hero power. It's a fell spell, and then you can play a Jace and then have 1 more mana to deal 4 extra damage with the Metamorphosis. So that's an option too. Ultimately, I think this is a really strong card. Gets better as more cards get printed, allows you to get lots of early game threats, lots of card drawing, and then still pump out crazy damage at the end of the game. So really like this card design. My least favorite card, what I think is the worst card for Demon Hunter, is unfortunately the quest of Final Showdown. So for the whole quest line to be complete, you're going to need to draw not just 15 cards, which is half your deck, and even more if you count your opening hand. They have to be drawn on the same turn. So you have to draw 4 cards on a turn, and then 5 cards on a turn, and then 6 cards on a turn. Drawing 6 cards on a turn is not easy under any circumstances, let alone if you are trying to do it all under this specific condition at this certain time. And then your reward is you get to spend 5 mana on a minion that does nothing when it hits the table, and then reduces the cards that are left in your deck the cost by 2 mana. So at a minimum, you've drawn 19 cards really 20 cards, because on your first turn you have to play the quest. So you've drawn 4 cards already if you went first, 5 if you're on the draw. Then let's say that you complete the quest under perfect circumstances. Let's somehow drawing 4 cards and 5 cards and 6 cards on your subsequent turns, which is, you don't have the hand space for that. It's impossible anyway. So you've drawn 19 cards, and then, no, 21 cards there, and then 22nd card on the next turn when you play this Kurtrus. So at the absolute best case scenario, your reward is to reduce the 8 remaining cards left in your deck by 2 mana. I don't see how this card is any good at all. Drawing cards is great, but this card doesn't help you draw cards. It makes you draw cards. So not worth sacrificing turn 1 for, in my opinion. Even if you're running a combo OTK Demon Hunter, in that case, drawing those extra cards one time and reducing their costs, like a Skull of Gul'dan, maybe there's some room there because your first turn usually isn't that productive anyway. But I still don't see this getting much action. And even though OTK is a really good deck, it's got a really high skill gap, so not a lot of people play it. So I don't see this card getting a whole lot of play, and the deck wins just fine without something like this. So I don't see it. As far as interesting cards, I really like Persistent Peddler. I really love the design of this. So it's a 4/3 for 4, and Death Rattles out another Persistent Peddler from your deck. But the best thing about this is that it's tradable. Tradable is the new mechanic. For 1 mana, you can basically throw this back in your deck and draw a card. So you look at a card like this, you're like, well, it seems great, but the Death Rattle doesn't do anything if I drew the second one. Except that it does, because you can send that guy back in and draw a new card for 1 mana, and then allowing this guy to trigger. So that's really cool. It's also great for the Death Rattle mechanic that Demon Hunter is running at 4 mana. It works perfectly with Razormane Beastmaster. It can get pulled out by Deathspeaker Blackthorn as part of the battle cry that pulls 3 Death Rattles out of your deck. So it synergizes really well with the dominant Demon Hunter archetype, and by itself it's pretty decent because I think tradable is going to end up doing pretty well. So 4/3 for 4 that Death Rattles into a copy of itself is pretty good. It also pulls that copy out of your deck, so thins your deck, and then it has the fixability aspect to it, which is great. So having at least one good tradable card in your deck, I think, is going to be a good idea. Lets you smooth out your curve. The mechanic, it seems like a really strong mechanic. So really think this card's super interesting. Probably won't see play outside of Death Rattle Demon Hunter, but it could because tradable is a pretty good mechanic. So that's what I think about Demon Hunter. Overall, I think it got some, lots of utility cards. Not a lot of no new deck archetype except this card draw thing. But I like the design of the cards overall. What do you think of the new Demon Hunter cards? Let me know. Leave some respectful comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in next time.